Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us this afternoon for our webcast on CRM marketing. It's quick introductions. Myself, Richard Hunter Rice, who's an external account manager here at the commercial team at Visual. English, who's a CRM team leader. And then we've got Joe Griffin, who is a CRM consultant. So a quick agenda for this afternoon. Introductions is done. I'm going to run through a quick overview of Visual for anyone who isn't aware of who we are. We're going to talk about Dynamic CRM and Dynamics Marketing overview, introducing Visual Motors, a quick demo, some final thoughts, and then a Q&A session at the end. So some webcast guidance for this afternoon. If you do have questions, please use the IM facility on the Skype window. Or if you're not joining us through Skype, please use the inquiries@visual.com email address. I believe we've muted your phones this afternoon, but if not, please make sure your phones are on silent for the course of this duration of the webcast. At the end, we will unmute them ready for the Q&A. Today's webcast has been recorded, and we'll provide a link in our follow-up email where you can share or review it again. So, for those who don't know, a quick introduction around Visual. Who are Visual? Well, we are 11 years old this year, based in Staffordshire, 160 people strong. We are a pure play Microsoft Gold partner, which makes us unique within the Microsoft partner community, in that we only provide consulting, managed services, and support of Microsoft products and solutions. Visual was originally created to support companies in getting more out of their significant Microsoft investments. We are a tier 1 managed Microsoft platform, which means we cover everything with the exception of Dynamics AX, GP, and NAV. We are also a tier 1 smart teaming partner, and last year alone we delivered in excess of £1 million worth of services on behalf of Microsoft directly. We are extremely proud to be named as Microsoft UK Country Partner of the Year for 2015. Demonstrate the depth of our Microsoft capabilities and why we're seen as a safe, trusted pair of hands. Next slide. This is how Visual's business is structured. It's 3 different units. Consulting. If we take consultancy first, we have business group, where our strategic consultants, our enterprise architects, our engagement managers sit, and they focus on lifting any conversation away from products to real business transformational change. The remainder of our consultants are then split across 6 distinct business practices. Cloud infrastructure, which covers System Center, Active Directory. Business productivity, covering SharePoint, OneDrive for Business. We have UC and messaging, which is Skype for Business, Exchange, Yammer. We have our app development team. Moving on to CRM, who we're going to be hearing from later today. And our newest team is our data platform team, which covers Power BI and SQL. All of Visual's consultants are individual practice specialists, as we do not employ any generalists. So the next segment we've got are the Visual Managed Services team on the right-hand side. This is where our consultancy engagements help to design, plan, build, test, and deploy your solutions, whether on-premise, in the cloud, or hybrid. We provide proactive support to monitor and optimize, to manage your investment in Microsoft solutions. We can also cover any skills gaps when deploying new technologies, and you'll be fully supported by a UK-based team of Microsoft accredited engineers. So the final section is solutions. Here we have industry-specific solutions for justice, retail, education, and our own Minerva 365 suite of applications. So, leading with transformation. These 3 pillars are Visual's transformation offerings. These are our customer-ready strategies. If I start left to right, we have connected business, all around how you engage with your customers, having the right information on the right device at the right time. Moving on to computing or empower. This is a strategy around empowering your workforce, considering the tools required around their daily roles. This could be tablets, this could be smartphones, notebooks, or PCs. Mobilization and empowerment of your workforce in a secure way. And finally, optimize service vision on the right, enhance. This is around enhancement of infrastructure, operations, and process. Consider whether on-premise, cloud, or a hybrid deployment is most suitable, and we look to optimize your infrastructure accordingly. We look to secure the most efficient delivery models for your application and have many examples we can share where we've made significant cost savings for customers. So I will hand over to Neil English.
So just to give you a brief overview of Dynamic CRM in case anyone's not aware, Dynamic CRM is about 8-9 years old. It started off as a very basic customer relationship management solution, and it has grown and evolved with the addition of Microsoft products to Office 365 or CRM Online. That's full integration. The CRM out of the box offers sales, service, and marketing capabilities. And then behind that, you've also got an extensible and completely customizable framework, which is referred to generally as XRM, to basically extend the whole of your framework to suit your business, and it can be configured however the business needs it to work. It also already works with things you already use, such as Outlook, with Office 365, OneNote, SharePoint, Yammer, and Power BI. Working together with the surrounding areas of CRM allows you to get a full encompassing view of your business by using CRM, MDM, social engagement, and then reporting all of that information through into Power BI allows powerful dashboarding reporting to be shared across the business. And in 2015, CRM was the market winner for enterprise, mid-market and small business and Salesforce automation. And it is one of Gartner's Magic Quadrant leaders ahead of Oracle and SAP, and it's now becoming a major challenger to Salesforce. So about today's demo is around Microsoft Dynamics Marketing, which is abbreviated to MDM. That is not mobile device management, just for clarification. It's all about campaign automation and management from Microsoft. It was a tool that was bought by Microsoft about 4 years ago, and it's become now part of the Office 365. It allows full integration into CRM. It provides a number of essential pre-sales marketing capabilities, an email marketing tool, a powerful lead and contact nurturing, full campaign automation, and contact preferences management that allows your customers to at all times be able to enroll or disassociate themselves from any campaigns. And again, same as CRM, it fully integrates with Office 365, Power BI, social listening, and then again you have further extensions possible via OData feeds and Dynamics Marketing SDK. This can allow you to build out further web pages, further portals, and allows you to connect to multiple different systems and environments into MDM. So, what are the benefits of integration with CRM? Well, it's an automatic bidirectional data sync. You have rich HTML editor in MDM, where in CRM you have a simple text email editor. Part of the demo will be taking you through the HTML email editor steps. You've got improved customer relationships and retentions because you can start to see the click-through information, the feedback on marketing campaigns. Like the data, you can see where possibly any marketing campaigns may be falling down and where there are actually some really good results that are coming into the business. It gives you a more efficient sales process that allows, once an email marketing campaign has been created, you can create lead score generations that automatically creates a lead into CRM that can then be assigned to a salesperson to manage that lead into an opportunity, and it gives you enhanced visibility between all sales and marketing teams. Part of this demo, the first part of this is a 3-step webcast to cover the whole suite of the marketing, sales, and service. Using an idea of a company called Visual Motors. The premise is we're going to be talking about a new vehicle launch with some campaign objectives. Firstly, it's to target existing owners of CRM for the offer, and we can look at automating all the aspects of the email campaign. to generate some sales-ready leads automatically created within CRM, and the sales team will work through. Then we can view vital statistics of the campaign, for example, bounce backs, number of unique clicks. What we're also going to be doing is the second part of the webcast will be around the sales side. So all of the information that's going to be nurtured from this MDM demo will be brought into the sales side, to how the leads are then managed through to opportunities, with customers expressing an idea about products they're interested in. And then the final part of the webcast will be the service side of CRM. Allows people who have purchased cars to actually be notified of any service management, track any issues that may be happening across the life cycle of their car ownership. But I'll hand over now to Joe Griffin for the live demo.
Okay, thank you, Neil. I'm going to jump now into CRM first of all. And the basic process for Visual Motors is that they create their marketing lists within CRM. Because we've got the integration set up with marketing, those lists are automatically synced across into MDM in order to allow the marketing department to then build out their campaign, see their contact records, etc. on that. So if we go quickly into CRM now, we access our existing marketing lists. We've got a few marketing lists that are already set up, including one called Test Drive Prospects, which we're going to go into in a bit more detail. Marketing lists contain something called contacts within them. Contacts is a record type within CRM. It does exactly what it says on the tin. Details about an individual, their phone number, email address, etc. Because they're present in both sides of the application, the sync is able to sync across some of those key attributes as well as part of the integration that we've set up. We go into our existing marketing list here. What we've done with this list here, we've set this up as a dynamic list. So there's two types of lists within marketing lists within CRM. There's static lists and dynamic lists. Static lists are where you go in, add individual contact records one by one. It could be as few or many as you like. Dynamic lists are one where you specify a query of the contacts that you want to return. So you want to have only contacts that have an email address, contacts that have a telephone number. Regardless of what you want to query, you've got the tools at your disposal to be able to build dynamic marketing lists that are also then updated on the fly as new contact records become eligible. We've got our existing list here. It's a dynamic list. The flag field here for sync to MDM to yes, so that it's basically our trigger point for the data to go into MDM. And we can very quickly go in and view, what query have we built here in order to get this data, these contact records into here. So as part of the campaign that we're going to be building out, it's a test drive opportunity. We wanted to target people who have got an MOT expiry date coming up in the next year. And we also think that people who already own a particular vehicle as their primary vehicle, such as Fiat Panda, Fiat Punto, etc., we think those are a really good fit in terms of being interested in this new car offer. Specified our query onto here. We can make use of grouping and etc. We can also very quickly get a preview of the data that's been returned, just as a bit of a sense check, so we can make sure that we've got our query correctly. And then when we're happy with that, we can do use query on there. And that dynamic list there is then all built out and ready to go. In terms of adding a brand new marketing list onto here, just in case of going back up to marketing lists on here, make sure that our sync to MDM is ticked there. We make sure that this is targeted against contact records, because that's what we're interested in. And then we just give it a descriptive name. So we want to perhaps do a list called new car launch. And once we've done that, we can save that. And then because this is a static list, we can then quickly go into here. We're going to use the inbuilt lookup feature within CRM just to add a few contacts. What we'll be able to do, we'll be able to see how this synchronizes across into CRM, into MDM in a few minutes. So we're just going to put Laura. Okay, so that's now done on there. So now we can jump across into Dynamics Marketing and take a look at some of the functionality that we're going to be using to help build out our test drive campaign. Just log into Dynamics Marketing. You're initially greeted with the welcome screen on here, and we've customized this to sort of suit our particular requirements. This is in effect a dashboard where we can add what are called widgets on, and widgets can cover full spectrum of different sorts of reporting, analytical dashboard views, lists, etc., charts that are available as part of MDM. Here we've got a few widgets that we set up already. We've got a My Tasks widget there, which basically lists up all the tasks that this current user is currently outstanding and needs to complete. We've got a lead performance chart on here where we just press go onto here, and then we can take a view and just see how we're performing with our leads. As you can see, we're having a few leads coming through. Here we can see on the 8th, on the 15th, sorry, we had 3 leads in, so a very good day there. And maybe integration as well with Bing Maps, so you can very quickly put a map on there showing a particular location if you choose. We've got the pie chart here that's showing our email deliverability over the last month or so. And we can go in and very quickly in these and see exact percentage figures. Click in. We can go onto the filter on here. Okay, well, maybe we're not just interested in this month. We want to go back to the full 3 months and see how that's performing. You can very quickly just sort of do that, and the chart updates accordingly. And at any point, we can just go to the top here, add widgets on. We have a good choice of different widgets. We've got line charts, pie charts that cover the performance, email deliverability, how effective our campaigns are. The link in Power BI dashboards as well. So if we've built a really effective Power BI dashboard that we want to pull through into MDM, we just give it the URL here, give it a title, and it will be pulled through as well. If you're also using social listening as well, with your CRM and your Dynamics Marketing instance, you can bring in your social listening keywords and start to integrate that with the application. That's the home screen. I want to actually get into the actual detail and start to build out our campaign within MDM. In order to be able to do that, we first need to make sure that our marketing list is ready to go. We've built an email template that we can quickly customize in order to suit our requirements, and that we've got a lead scoring rule in place that's going to help us progress our leads to a sales ready status. As part of the campaign setup as well, there's also quite a few other things that you have to ensure that you've set up as well. In the interest of time, we're not going to show them in this particular demo, but we're just going to briefly touch upon them now, just so that you're aware. Within your, so for example, you need all emails that are sent out of Dynamics Marketing, you need to include a double opt-in link. This basically helps to ensure that the contacts who are signed up on your marketing lists have provided their consent, explicit consent, to be opted in to receive marketing communications from your organisation. Why is that important? Well, at the moment, whilst the UK remains a member of the European Union, it is actually required as part of the EU Directive on Privacy and Electronic Communications. It's also likely that it may also remain in place once the UK leaves the EU. So there is actually a legal requirement around that. And it also helps as well in terms of ensuring that your customers are feel that they've given their explicit consent to receiving marketing communication, don't feel that they've sort of been sent stuff that they've not necessarily signed up for. So there's a dual element to it there. You also need to ensure that you've set up a forward to a friend option that, as we'll demonstrate later on, this lets you, the customer who's received the email message, very quickly forward a particular offer, an email, whatever it is, to up to 6 potential contacts. It may be an offer that they're interested in. We need to also make sure that we've included our full sender address, and that it will be our address of our business, including telephone number, contact email address, etc., required as part of sending out messages to Dynamics Marketing. And more from the customer's point of view, to make sure that they've got the full details of the organisation that's contacting them in that particular instance. We also need to set up a subscription centre, which is where a customer manages their individual preferences for subscriptions. Again, we'll demonstrate that later on. We've also set up as part of this campaign a response model, which is where we can track how we're performing against certain markets within the system. And we're also going to be using A/B testing as part of this campaign. And A/B testing is a really powerful feature within Dynamics Marketing that lets you test different approaches to your email marketing. So you want to test out a different email content within the main copy of your email, maybe try different words, different phrases, maybe try addressing people in different ways. A/B testing lets you do is, as part of a campaign, you can select a subsection of within the marketing list that you set up, who will then receive different versions of the email, and based on certain criteria that you determine within the application, you can then decide a winning email message out of that the rest of the contacts on the marketing list receive. Potentially a very powerful feature, very good for if you wanted to sort of test out very different sort of things, and you can then feed that back and get a real sort of detailed analytical view in terms of, okay, well, what's working, why is this working? And finally, we need to have a landing page, and a landing page is what the contact who receives the email fills out when they receive an email offer, and then gets captured back into Microsoft Dynamics Marketing as a lead record. We've covered all that now, so now we can sort of go in and just verify our marketing lists. The list that we created earlier has synced through successfully, so we're pretty confident that's all working, which is good. And now we can go into our test drive prospects list, which is the one where we've set up our individual contacts. See, we've got all of our contact records here that we've set up on here. Similar to in CRM, we can set up both static and also dynamic marketing lists. A few caveats around that, though, in terms of not static lists will sync in a bi-directionally between Dynamics Marketing and CRM, but dynamic lists from CRM will only sync across the static lists to marketing, and dynamic lists from Dynamic Marketing will not filter across to CRM. So that's just something you need to bear in mind when you're sort of working with the application. We've got all our contact records down here, and what we're also able to do as well is we're able to set up custom fields which we've populated within our CRM with data, which then also sync across to MDM as well. So we're not restricted with the fields that we've got out the box of the application. We can go in and add in our particular fields that we're interested in as a business as part of this. So in this case, we've synced across the current vehicle value here that we saw in our query earlier. And to create a marketing list within Dynamics Marketing, it's very just simply a case of, similar to CRM, query it onto here, and you just create your new list from here. In the interest of time, we won't cover that as part of today's demo. So we're happy our marketing list is synced across. We now need to look at making sure that we've got our email templates ready to go. Now, a lot of things within Dynamics Marketing, you typically set up templates first, and these templates are then reused across different record types. So, for example, you have campaign templates, job templates, email templates, etc. Why would you want to do this? Well, they can help with efficiency a lot. You can put base templates that cover a scenario that is likely to be reused multiple times. So, for example, maybe a particular offer. Maybe you want to do you do frequent sorts of offers or events or things like that. So you can very quickly set up templates that contain everything that you need. When it comes to email templates as well, they can be very useful in helping to enforce brand consistency. You can make sure you've got one template which has how you want it to be in terms of from a look and a feel and from a visual point of view, and make sure that's used across all your different campaigns. And from an email template point of view, one of the really good things as well with that is that you can use both the inbuilt editor within Dynamics Marketing to design your email templates, or if you've already got existing email templates that are built within HTML or CSS, you can very quickly port these across to Dynamics Marketing to include all the information that you may need and get those out in a way. So you're not restricted in following a set route. You can be quite sort of broad in that regard. So look in the at the email templates. We've already set up a email template that covers what we need. I'm just going to go in and have a look at what the settings here. As well, that we've got two test drive template emails set up. One first name, and the second that says citation surname. We view the A/B testing part of the campaign that we've set up. The only difference between these two emails is that they're addressed slightly differently. The email, as you can probably guess, is addressed using a dear first name, whereas the second email uses the more traditional greeting. So we're going to go into our first name email template. Just a few things to point out on here. Within our details here, we can specify settings in terms of, okay, well, how do we want to handle our email bounce backs? Do we want to purge them, or do we want to retain the hard bounces for further diagnostics? To link in our email campaign with Google Analytics by putting our tracking codes in our email so we can get a few more useful statistics and information from our email messaging. And then we can very quickly link this to existing subscription centers, which we've already got set up, and also forward to a friend as well. Now, if we've got, so let's say for our particular email message, we want to attach a brochure or a document that contains sales literature. You can very quickly do this by scrolling down, selecting the files attachments onto here, selecting the file onto the system, or we can upload a new one straight from within the interface. There's also other settings that we can specify as well, such as, okay, what level of importance will the email have, etc. So potentially very powerful. We're going to have a look at the inbuilt email editor that comes out of the box with Dynamics Marketing. One of the of this is that you don't need to have that experience in terms of how to develop really beautiful HTML, CSS, email templates. You can utilize the out of the box settings template designer to build really professional emails very quickly. So we've got a very basic email here that sort of covers, for our current purposes, it basically outlines a test drive offer. But we've included in various hyperlinks to some of the things that we've mentioned already. So, for example, we've got a hyperlink down here to our forward to a friend option. We've included a link to our subscription center down here in the footer. We've got a viewer's web page as well. Pretty much everything that you'd expect. We can very quickly add additional content onto here. So if we wanted to add in some additional text, image, or even HTML snippets, we can drag that across into the editor onto there, develop that out further. And for anything that's on there existing, we've got full access to the styles as well. So we can quickly change it. So if we wanted a different border color, we wanted to have text padding, a background color, we can put that in and again make it really look professional. We've also been able to do as well, we've been able to insert some of the fields from our contact record as well, and that will be picked up dynamically when the email is sent out. So here we can see we've got the name field, and that we've also got our current vehicle field as well. When we're ready, when we think this email looks ready to go, give you a button on here. And one of the really good things about this is that it gives you preview options, not just for a desktop environment, but also for your mobile devices as well. So your iOS for, devices, Windows Phone, Android tablets, phones, whatever it may be. You can quickly gain a quick view into, okay, well, how is this looking as it comes through? Is it going to be a bit for what we're trying to target onto here? For this particular example here, we might want to go back here and just maybe adjust this slightly because the image is being pulled down a little bit further on here. So very useful feature and something that's invaluable when you're sort of planning want to make sure that they're looking. Got our email template all ready to go, so we can just take that now, we can customize it slightly to suit our particular requirements. And it's there. If we can reuse it again in future, we're not having to go to a massive process each time to create these new email marketing messages, which is really quite helpful. But the final thing we just want to make sure we've got all set up before we jump into the email campaign is that we've got our lead scoring rules set up. On here, I've got one set up already for our campaign. The lead scoring rules it does what it says in the tin. It lets you score your leads based on different rules that you specify within the system as well. These rules can be based on a wide variety of different factors. So in this particular case, what we've set up here is that okay, well, every time somebody goes onto our landing page and fills out a request for the first time, we want to score a lead by 70. And we've got two additional rules on here that are looking at our custom contact fields. They're basically saying, okay, well, we've got two fields here that are going to appear on our landing page. If they meet the values that we are looking for, we're going to score those leads by an additional 10 points each. But in this particular case, for the vehicle launch, for the Firebrand GT500, we're very much interested in speaking to people who intend to purchase a new vehicle within the next 6 months, and whose new vehicle budget is within the sort of limits of the vehicle to sort of. And if we wanted to add additional rules, we can just go in very quickly. We can add in rules based on a particular interaction, based on other fields that within the contact form, and on the lead itself as they sort of change and develop across the life cycle. The second thing that lead scoring models are useful for on our particular example is giving leads a grade, a sales-ready grade. As you can see down here, we've replicated, a very sort of common grading model for a lead, so cold, warm to hot. And we've set our hot grade to be a sales-ready grade. And what does that mean? Sales-ready is the trigger point for Dynamics Marketing to basically then tip the lead into CRM for people or other CRM application users to then pick up and go with. So when you've got the Dynamics Marketing integration in place is Dynamics Marketing becomes a nurturing ground for your lead, where you can develop them to the point where you know that they're going to be, from a sales point of view, where you know that you've built up a good level of detail about the particular contact and what they're looking for, or you can tip it in for your salespeople to then start to work through. So they're working with real actionable data and not something which is going to close quickly or it's gone beyond the point of no return, as it were. We've got our lead scoring rules set up and ready to go. It's linked to our campaign, so now we can just go in and view our campaign that we've set up already. We've already set up a campaign template which has populated our original Firebrand GT500 test drive email campaign. What we've been able to do with this is that we've been able to say on our campaign template, okay, well, for this particular type of campaign, a test drive, we always know that we're going to need to, for example, develop our email template, write copy for our etc. like that. So we can set up tasks which will be automatically created and assigned at the point in which a campaign is created. Again, it's saving us the effort of having to go through the same process each time by speeding things up for us where we can. And campaigns not just linked to tasks in MDM, they can also be linked to other record types, so jobs, offers, events, etc. Campaigns can sort of cover the whole corpus of different record types in MDM. Put our campaign onto here. Set up our response model to link in with this particular campaign. So I've created some response models already. And what they do is they let us build a model of how we think a particular action activity, in this case leads generated, is going to perform, and then benchmark that against an actual one here. So as you can see, this campaign is already in progress. We can see that actually we're performing quite well against our model at the moment, so there's probably not much we change about this campaign, which is really good to see. Because this campaign is also currently in flight as well, we can go down and start to view some of these key statistics in terms of how our campaign is performing. We can get a very high-level snapshot view using some of the inbuilt charts within Dynamics Marketing to get a really quick view in terms of what's going on here. As you can see, we're doing quite well on the total clicks, but perhaps maybe not getting as many forwards as we'd like. Relatively few unsubscribes, which is good to see. We can just very quickly go down into the summary down here and start to drill into the detail. And we get all of the sort of vital statistics that you'd expect. So for example, soft bounces, hard bounces, view the number of unique clicks. We can also see where our emails have been blocked, whether it's part of something in the application itself, so it's a duplicate record, or because a contact is marked as a do not email status as well. Do not email status as well. So the application is intelligent enough to know that it's not going to let you do silly mistakes like sending things out to customers who have clearly opted out for a particular. Really take the headache out of. Then below here, we can actually go in and see our actual emails on here. And if we wanted to, we can drill in a little bit further onto there and just see what we've. So because this is an automated campaign, we can go in and view the campaign builder. And this is where Dynamics Marketing starts to come into its own in terms of building out a campaign start to finish that can then be executed to start and run at specific times, doing specific actions. Just to explain what our campaign is doing in this particular case, we specified our marketing list, which is our test drive prospect list that we saw earlier. We set the A/B testing for our particular, for those 2 email template messages that we saw earlier. So we sent out 2 different emails with slightly different greetings on them. Because this campaign is already run, we can go in and actually start to view some of the results of the A/B testing as well. And in this particular case, we've seen that, okay, our more traditional invitation surname greeting is the one that generated the better response. So that is the one that the majority of the contacts on this marketing list would have. Our landing page, which is where our customers log in and record their responses on. We can also point as well, and this is where we say, okay, well, if an email bounces for whatever reason, we can do a specific action. So in this case, well, we want to make sure that any emails that bounce get. So we're going to put them into a suppression list that we've set up on here. But important, well, you are limited in terms of the amount of email messages that you can send out of Dynamics Marketing on a basis. So it's really important that you want to avoid situations where you're sending out unnecessary emails. Also set up timers as well. So in this case, we're going to wait a particular 2 hours. We set a trigger point here, which sort of goes, okay, well, when a particular user has registered on our, we're going to send them just a small email just to say, thank you for registering. We'll be in touch shortly to confirm details. If not, we're going to wait 2 days. And after those 2 days, we're just going to send them a reminder email. That will be similar to our original email, but just sort of say, okay, we've still got this test drive opportunity open. Within our campaign automation tool, we've got the full suite of different record types of an MDM that we can work in. And we can just drag and drop them onto any of these. If we wanted to, for example, add a task onto the email is sort of sent out, assign a task to somebody to then follow that up, that particular lead up, we can do that. And we can just get rid of that very quickly as well. It covers things like tasks, you can score a lead, you can also create an event record, a particular offer, also SMS messages as well if you wanted to. As we discussed, this campaign has already been out. We've already had a few responses back in on it. So first of all, thing we want to check in this is, okay, well, how does this look from the end user point of view? What do they receive and what's the experience like for them? So we've got an email inbox here. This is a contact who's received 2 of our particular emails. He's received our original email here, which was through the initial offer here. As you can see, it's picked up the fact that he's a doctor, Dr. Pixley, the fact that he owns an existing vehicle, a Fiat 500, and you've got the various hyperlinks on there included as well. He didn't respond to this original email message. He didn't fill out a landing page requirement. He's also received the reminder email on here. So we can go into here and we can actually see what each of these different things are here. I'll forward to a friend. So as discussed, this lets you specify up to 6 email contacts who will receive a copy of the email message. It will be virtually identical to the original message. It will just have a little line underneath it that says, so-and-so has forwarded this message. You can subscribe to it by clicking on this link here. And this can be customized as well. So if you wanted a slightly different message on here, style of how it looks, you can go into NDM and you can customize that as well. The good thing as well is these links can also be, all of these links, the forward to a friend, the subscription center, landing page, these can all be embedded within your existing website if you wanted to. If you've got a particular bespoke domain that you want these to appear on, you can very quickly integrate that together. Forward to a friend, we're going to take a look at our our landing page here. So we've built into this just a very basic sort of header text here, just to say thank you for your interest in the offer. Type the fields that we want that link back to our contact record onto here. We've also got our custom fields onto here as well. As part of a landing page, you can also incorporate things onto this like capture in order to make sure that you're not getting spam responses through. And all of this can be further stylized by the use of CSS if you. In this particular case, we're going to fill out this landing form and see how that then comes through into Dynamics. So we're just going to put an email address in. I'm going to put details onto here. Down to here, values in here. Again, these can be customized. Phone number on here. So that we can see the ready aspect of the Dynamics marketing come into play. We're going to tick here, okay, well, we do intend to purchase a new vehicle in the next 6 months, and our budget is in line with what we are expecting for this particular vehicle. And one of the good things as well about this is that it does provide validation as well. So if you enter an email address that is invalid for whatever reason, you maybe enter an address or telephone number that's not validated, then the form will tell you that, and you can then just very quickly go into here and then submit as well. So it's doing those checks for you. A small message there, just say thank you, the information has been received. But let's just say in this particular case, okay, well, we received this email offer, but we're actually not interested in this. We don't really want to be receiving these type of email communications. So in which case, we're going to go down to the Description Center down here. What we can see here is that Vernon Pixley here has his own subscription center within the application that covers all the details that we currently hold in regards to this contact record. So I can just go into here and change these details. So maybe, I'm actually a Mr. as opposed to a doctor. Maybe I'm a doctor who's, I could put in any additional details onto here. I can also say, okay, well, I don't want to be on these mailing lists anymore. I don't really appreciate receiving them. I can go into there, tick on that box there, take that back to Dynamics Marketing. Now Vernon will be removed from this marketing list. So you're giving potentially your customers the power to manage their own preferences settings, and also give them an opportunity to ensure that details that that you are holding about them are the most up-to-date details as well, which in a lot of cases can be very important and crucial. Okay, so we've taken a look now at our email. So if we now go back into Dynamics Marketing, we go into Marketing, Execution and Leads, we should be able to see that we've got a new lead that's come through into the system. We may have to click just View All up here, just to view all leads. As you can see, we've got our John Smith lead that's come through into the application here. We can go into here and just verify a few of these details. As you can see up here, the campaign is the lead scoring was automatically scored this particular lead record at 90, based on the criteria we set earlier, which is good to see. So now it's considered to be sales ready, and there's additional details on here that we can fill out if we wanted to. Maybe we want to put in a few details on here to make sure that they're synced across for our sales team to pick up within CRM. Do that, and then we can also drill down further and see, okay, what other record types within Dynamics Marketing is related to this particular. We'll also go back to our marketing list as well. We should be able to see now that Vernon is no longer a part of the marketing list that we originally at 50, that's down to 49. And now we should see that Vernon is no longer a part of that list. So, the thing with that is you're not waiting long periods for stuff to sync back across and stuff like that. It's very fluid, very quick, and it's responding as and when your customers take a specific action related to a particular account. So now, if we go back into CRM and we go to our lead record page, we should now see that our sales ready lead is in CRM. And it's now in a position where our sales team can then pick up here. As you can see, John Smith onto here. And this is all ready to go now. Our sales team can now get in contact with John, arrange for the test drive, and hopefully he'll be somebody who we think, yeah, is a really good fit for this. Okay, so that pretty much wraps it up for the demo portion of this. So I'm going to hand back now to Neil for the wrap up.
Joe. So as you can see, that's only shown a very brief snapshot of what MDM can offer. Very powerful product that can also go into project management and actually work on time and materials and managing budgets as well across projects. It is a full feature marketing tool. It's got the ultimate tool for marketing departments, event management, and it also has a really interesting document approval process, which allows you don't actually consume a license for MDM to be able to approve documents that will be used in marketing campaigns. MDM works completely when integrated with CRM, and we are obviously well placed to deploy any CRM MDM combined solutions. I'll just pass over to Richard for final slide.
Okay, both. So final bit is Q&A. Any questions out there? I believe we've got a couple of questions that come in.
Yeah, okay. So we've got a few questions on here. So we've got one question here. Can I integrate with other mailing tools such as MailChimp?
Yes, you can integrate MDM with MailChimp. However, if you're using MailChimp, then integration is normally done through the integration solution within CRM itself, and you're using the complete connection with MailChimp into CRM that really replaces what MDM can do.
Is there a way to set up a different reply to address when sending out email messages? I believe the answer to that is yes, you can. It links in with, if you're on Office 365, for example, it links in with your existing Exchange Online environment, and you can then specify contact or user email address. Okay. The next question, I have sales marketing data in other systems, Excel, spreadsheets, Salesforce, MailChimp, etc. Easy to import data. That's an emphatic yes on that. Emphatic. What Dynamics Marketing lets you do is you can take your data in CSV format and you can then import that across into the application. And that covers all the different record types of an MDM, so things like contacts, leads, etc. You can quickly get your data into there if you need it to. And by some of the out-of-the-box, by some of the extension options within Dynamics Marketing as well, integration can also be achieved via other means as well.
Yeah. And one final question is, am I able to manage digital assets brochures using MDM? Yes, as we just discussed on the final slide, you can manage digital assets, and you can also have people to approve them, such as directors, the digital assets without actually consuming an MDM license.
Okay, perfect. That wraps it up then. So if anyone has any further questions, shout now, or we've got the email address inquiries@rizure.com. Please send any questions through and we'll get back to you as quick as we can. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, and hopefully we'll catch up with you shortly. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone.